हम जानना चाहेंगे कि बाइबल में क्या-क्या लिखा है और साइंस की दृष्टि से कितना सही ठहरती है। तो बाइबल में लिखा है उत्पत्ति के बारे में कि ईश्वर ने 6 दिनों में सृष्टि रची और
Here,
7वें दिन
the
विश्राम किया।
creation days are mentioned one by one. But like many skeptics, there's a common misinterpretation. For example, it's often said that God created light and darkness. However, the Bible actually says God separated the light from the darkness. The same applies to water and sky. God divided them. These subtle but important points are often skipped. One of the most powerful lines, "Let there be light," is often mentioned but not fully understood in context. We're setting aside these usual arguments for now, as we've already seen similar claims from atheists and skeptics. Many of their points are often weak, lacking proper research or understanding of the cultural and historical context of the Bible. These critiques frequently fall into logical fallacies like anachronism, presentism, intellectual ignorance, category errors, and others. The key point is, the biblical worldview can't be judged by modern scientific standards because the Bible wasn't written with that framework in mind. Its purpose was to communicate with ordinary people through stories, dialogues, and language they could understand, not to serve as a scientific manual. Unlike science, which focuses solely on the physical world, the Bible speaks of both the physical and the spiritual realms, something science doesn't address. So when critics apply scientific thinking to spiritual truths, they often end up misrepresenting what the Bible is really saying. For example, take the mystery of the pyramids. Even with today's tools and knowledge, we still don't fully understand how they were built. If science is so advanced, why do some of these ancient achievements still point to the possibility of higher intelligence or unknown methods? Science helps us understand the world, but its role is not to disprove or mock spiritual belief systems. The Bible doesn't describe creation in the same step-by-step way science does, because its purpose is different. That distinction matters.
अब जितने भी ईसाई हैं, इन ईसाइयों में से यानी ईसा मसीह पर विश्वास करने वाले लोग, प्रभु यीशु की पूजा करने वाले लोग, वो कितने लोग जो हैं इस बात को सही मानते हैं। अब अंधश्रद्धा है, पाखंड है, अंधविश्वास है, तो ये सारे लोगों को ये बात में विश्वास करना ही पड़ेगा। लेकिन जब ये स्कूल में साइंस पढ़ने जाएँगे, तो वहाँ क्या लिखेंगे? क्या ये लिख सकते हैं? क्या इनके बच्चे ये लिख सकते हैं? क्या इनके बच्चे इसको मानकर आगे की जो वैज्ञानिक जाँच है, उसे करने से रोक सकते हैं क्या? नहीं, क्योंकि जो पश्चिम है, पश्चिम में बहुत आविष्कार हुए हैं और उन्होंने जो है बाइबल को हमेशा नकारा है और बाइबल को नकार कर ही बेशक सारा पश्चिम जो है लगभग वो ईसाई धर्म को मानने वाला है, लेकिन वो ईसाई धर्म को बिल्कुल भी प्रैक्टिकली नहीं मानते हैं, नकारते हैं। नकारेंगे जब ही वो जाँच करने चलेंगे।
Come on, let's be real. The Bible is not a science textbook. It's written in poetic and metaphorical language. It doesn't offer scientific formulas or lab instructions, so there's no reason for anyone to feel restricted from experimenting or learning science. You can't compare the Bible and science directly because they speak to different aspects of reality. Science studies molecules, matter, and mechanics. The Bible speaks about purpose, meaning, and the creator behind it all. Science says the Big Bang happened. The Bible says God created the world. Where's the contradiction? One describes what happened. The other explains why it happened. It's that simple. Just because someone doesn't actively follow religion doesn't mean the Christianity is wrong. People have many different reasons for choosing a different path, personal, cultural, or situational. Think of it like this. A person studies and becomes a doctor. Does that mean they will act professionally and follow medical protocols in every moment of their life? Of course not. When speaking to a child, they may act playful. When speaking to an adult, they speak seriously. Does that mean they rejected their medical degree? Not at all. In the same way, choosing not to follow every religious teaching doesn't automatically mean someone is rejecting or disproving the Bible. Sometimes it's about preference, life circumstances, or even ignorance. But that personal choice doesn't make the Bible false.
The position of recognizing that belief in God was an entirely satisfying intellectually event, but also something that I was increasingly discovering I had a spiritual hunger for. And interestingly, some of the pointers to God had been in front of me all along.
In any country where most people claim to follow religion, only about 10 to 20% truly understand what their faith teaches, and even fewer genuinely live by it. Religion isn't a short-term course where you study for a year or two and become a guru, like in physical education or professional training. True religious understanding takes much longer, often 5 years or more, just to begin grasping it deeply. It involves not just learning teachings, but going through real experiences, the highs and lows, doubts and faith, struggles and trust. It's a journey that shapes a person over time, not something that comes from simply identifying with a religion. So, saying that the West is a Christian region but doesn't live in faith, therefore the Bible must be false, is not a genuine or fair conclusion. There are many other reasons why people might not actively follow religion. Personal struggles, social influences, cultural shifts, or even simple neglect. In fact, the Bible encourages open thinking, inviting people to apply reasoning, weigh evidence, and draw conclusions. This is one of the reasons Christians throughout history have built schools, universities, and hospitals, because we understand the value and purpose of life. And if we apply the same logic back on science, we could ask, if science is so good, then why are weapons made that destroy entire communities? The existence of harmful tools doesn't mean science is false. It simply shows how human choices shape how knowledge is used.